topic is new technologies revolutionizing food labels and packaging. And for this, I would like to call our panel member, our first panel member. I would request everyone, please put your hands together for Miss Aparna Tandon Jain, Lead Nutrition NPD from Signutra. Let's give her a huge round of applause, everyone, and welcome her. And with this, now we have a gentleman over here coming on the stage. Please put your hands together for Mr. Pradip Chakraborty, Senior Advisor, Center for Public Health and Food Safety. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Now, please give it up for Mr. Vivek Arora, Senior Advisor from Access to Nutrition. So he would be joining us in a while. With this, we have our another panel member. I would request everyone, please put your hands together for Mr. Shyamal Roy, Practice Head, QA and PD from NDDB Dairy. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Okay, so we have our moderator. Please put your hands together for Dr. Babu Rao, Guduri, Joint Director and HOD Laboratory and T&D Department from IIP. Let's give him a huge round of applause to Dr. Babu Rao. Okay, so last but not the least, I would request everyone, please put your hands together for Mr. B.S. Acharya, Retired Director, FSSAI. Let's give him a huge round of applause, everyone. Thank you so much, all the panel members and our moderator for joining us. Now, stage is all yours. Over to you. Thank you.
So very good afternoon, all the audience and my panel members here. So we have topic today. There will be a new technology realizing food labels and packaging. I think all of you knows very well about, packaging plays the major role. So not only food and beverages, take it any other products, take it pharma, any other products, package is the most important. So packaging here, so whatever material you can pack, whether pack with the plastics, metal, glass, whatever material, but you should see some of the compatibility here between both of them, whether product and as well as your packaging material. So this shelf life also it will increase. That's completely depending on the what kind of metal are you using. So we are going to be discussing some of the subtopics here. So role of the labeling in nutrition value of the food, recycling package in the food industry to reduce the waste and conversion resource, enabling packaging made from the natural ingredients, and active and smart and biodegradable packaging. And last one, we're going to be talk about to discuss safe labeling for new norms and regulations. So now I would request first topic here. So Mr. Aparna Jain, madam. Madam, just give brief about, how you going to be utilizing labeling the nutrition, value the food, how do you going to affect on the health of the human, please.
Thank you very much for the question. Very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Sinex Group, for inviting me. Regarding the topic which is given to me, which is on the nutrition label, nutrition label plays a very important role. It gives the consumer an idea about what are they eating. And now with FSSAI, the government body in force, which asks all the food manufacturers to inform the consumer about the nutrition value. So on all the packs, whether it is your FMCG kind of a product or a nutraceutical, any food product, all the food manufacturers, they are supposed to follow the nutrition labeling guidelines. So on the nutritional panel, where we find the nutrients, the marketer or the manufacturer, they are supposed to give the RDA values. And what do we mean by RDAs? It is the recommended dietary allowance for each and every nutrient. So in one serving of the food, how much are we meeting of a particular nutrient? So that is mandatory, and that is again a very consumer friendly approach. A consumer gets to know that how much protein I am getting, what percentage of RD I am covering from that food material. Then about the fat, how much fat the product contains. Previously, you will see only carbohydrates being written on the nutrition panel, but now it is mandatory to give the total sugars and added sugars also on the nutrition label. So that again gives the consumer an idea about what amount of sugar are you consuming. And specifically when it comes to a diabetic patient, if he sees, okay, this much sugar is there, they should avoid that item. The kind of claims which are available on the pack, you will see a lot of claims like zero sugar or low fat, high protein. So these are all claims which attract the consumer. But with the nutrition information table which is given on the back, the consumer can make a wise decision that, okay, the pack is saying high protein, but how much protein am I getting in one serving of that product item, right? That food item. So based on this, the consumer can make a conscious decision. Obviously, this requires awareness because we all normal consumers, we are not that nutrition driven. So people avoid seeing the nutrition panel, but that kind of awareness needs to be given to consumer, that they just don't go by what is written on the front of the pack. Low fat, high protein, high fiber. They should see the back panel. Even the biscuits, they are claiming made from multigrain atta. Just check the ingredient panel. Ingredient panel will give you an idea what all ingredients being used. Are we using refined flour, or are we actually using wheat flour or your ragi or oats in order to claim it as multigrain or high in fiber? So all these aspects comes under the nutrition labeling guidelines. The ingredients which are given on the pack, they are always in the descending order. The first ingredient written, that means it is in the highest percentage. That is there in the maximum amount in that food item. So all these awareness we need to give it to the consumer so that they can make conscious health decisions, and definitely these nutrition panel, they are gonna help the consumer in improving their health. Yes, high fiber, high protein, low fat, these kind of food items are definitely good for your health. But we need to check the nutrition information panel which is given at the back of the pack, which talks about the amount of protein present in that food item, amount of fiber, amount of fat, total sugars, added sugars. So all these things are available. We just need to be more vigilant. We need to check all those information and then make the conscious decisions. So I think I was able to answer this particular question on nutrition labeling.
Yeah, that will be great, madam. Thank you so much for your giving inputs for that. So I would request you with us, we have Vivek Arora, just now he joined now. So can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Good morning. Am I audible? Yeah. So basically, Aparna ma'am very well, explained you about the back of pack labeling, and I would say back of pack labeling is very well regulated also. So you have a regulation wherein you need to follow that regulation and present the back of pack labeling. She also touched upon the front of pack labeling. So these are the two different types of labeling. So let me start with basics as to who are the stakeholders for labeling and why labeling is important for nutrition. So if you just look around, who are the stakeholders? One is the manufacturer. The manufacturer wants to declare what he's produced. The second stakeholder is the consumer. He is buying the product based on the declaration. So either it can be a back of pack label or it can be a front of pack label. We will come to the details on the front of pack label. Now the third stakeholder is the consumer organizations. Now, how they are important? The consumer organizations are looking at the interest of the consumer. So they would really go and check the label of the manufacturers. So they will pick up the products, test, and check what you've declared on the package, basically. And then there are development organizations, foundations, research organizations who collate the data, who collect the data basis, what is being declared, what is getting produced. So I represent a foundation, Netherlands-based foundation, Access to Nutrition Initiative. What we do is we work with the top food and beverage companies in India and globally, and then we check the healthiness of the product. Now, how we check the healthiness of the product? It is checked based on what they declare on the package, right? And then we present to them a recommendation as to how they can improve on their product or improve the healthiness of their products. So basically, these organizations are also kind of a stakeholder, which will help improve the food and beverage manufacturers to improve their products going forward. So I have just given you the perspective. Now, what is important? As Aparna ma'am rightly said, back of pack labeling, the consumers are not very aware. They need awareness. Also, while buying a food, how much time do you have? Can you read the back of pack label and buy a product? Anyone? Has anyone done that? It's difficult. I am aware. I try to, but sometimes the back of pack label is not visible to me. So these are challenges, and you are in the industry, you are the manufacturers. The key word here is that the label should be interactive. So the front of pack label should be interactive to the consumer. The consumer should be able to make the buying decision based on what it is visible on the front of pack. Now, ma'am also said, don't go by the claims. She is very right, because front of pack, normally you will find claims which are more attractive and that will make your buying decision. So there is a need to regulate the front of pack labeling. FSSAI today is working on that INR model for healthiness of the products. So in globally, there are various models available. So if an industry, picks up one model, it's able to say, 70% of my products are healthy. But if you evaluate the same on the another model, it will come down to 50%. So there has to be a uniform model to establish healthiness of the product, which is what FSSAI is working on today. That how can you define healthy? What is healthy? So there is an INR model they're working on. That is one. Second is that the package has to be interactive in itself. There has to be nutritional information on the package, but there can be different symbols. For example, the keyhole symbol. So it is a Swedish system wherein they present a green keyhole for a healthier version. So by symbols, the consumer should be able to choose a healthy alternative. Or there are healthier product symbols. We have grown over the years. Like if you look at the label that we see today, earlier there was no veg logo, but this is easy. There was confusion in between some products being veg and non-veg. Now labeling has, removed that thing. You can easily see a green logo and pick up a veg product. Similarly, you should be able to pick up a product based on the healthiness of the product. For example, if you look at fortification, there is a symbol plus F in blue color which is available for fortified product. So if you are deficient in A and D and if you want product with A and D, you can choose a fortified milk or oil with A and D. So similarly, there has to be a system, a regulated system for a front of pack label wherein it is easy to choose based on the healthiness of the product. Or in between two products, which is more healthy, then you need to get into the nutrient numbers. So this system has to be made in a way that it is easily accessible to the consumer so that he can make a right decision. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Both of you, madam and sir, whatever I have questions, you have clarify all kind of things. So he giving inputs, all things. Just I want to add something little here regarding come to label. So this is related to functions of the, like a packaging. So if you have label, like take it before, like with label, without label. Why you want put the label? Because we come to know what are the inside of the, like a product. So for example, take it a water bottle in front of you, you remove the label. So what is the inside? We don't know that exactly, whether water, acid, we don't know. So because of that, we are giving all the information through the label. Label will give all the information about the product. So that means who's the manufacturer, when the manufacturer, what the shelf life, what are the ingredients, all kind of information. Because of that, we are buying for product. So these are just addition from my side. And thank you both of you. And any other questions from the audience related for this topic? Okay, right. Let's move next other point we have. Recycling packaging the food industry to reduce the waste and conversion research. So we have eminent speaker here, Mr. Pradip Chakraborty. Can you elaborate, sir, before about that?
Good morning to everybody. Recycling of packing material is a very important thing because all of us know that 30% of the wastage actually, food waste comprises of packing materials. So if you can recycle the packing materials, then you can reduce the impact of this packaging materials. And the most convenient packaging material is plastic. So, but all plastics are not recyclable. So recycling is a very important step. All plastics are not. Some of the variants of some of the plastic materials are recyclable. You can only do recycling of those plastics. Advantage is plastic can be handled very easily, and recycling also is less power intensive process. Of recycling of plastic is less power intensive process, and it is very convenient also. But the problem is most of the plastics are not recyclable. But other than plastics also, we have metal containers also. Metal containers are also recyclable. But the thing is actually it is very much a lot of energy is required to recycle metal containers. And then some other packaging materials like glass bottles. Glass bottles are also recyclable, but there is a problem of breakage of glass bottles. So while recycling glass bottles, actually you have to take care of this, and because broken glass actually cause hamper of the products also. It interfere with the food safety of the products. And other than glass bottles, we have paper packaging also, paper packaging, but most of the paper packaging are nowadays laminated. So when you are recycling paper products, actually, then you have to remove the lamination first, and then actually you have to recycle the paper products. And other than that, nowadays a lot of innovations are going on. Even bagasse material, bagasse is also used for packing as packing material. So these are some of the recyclable packaging material options of the packaging material. And we know edible packaging also. Some of the edible packaging material are already there in the market, and we know that this ice cream in cone made of biscuits is a very popular edible packaging, and it is used for for a long period actually. And nowadays also, so many spoons and other things also are available, which are eco-friendly and biodegradable also, and edible packaging is an example of edible packaging. So all these things actually contribute, and so a lot of research is also going on, and I hope that in the coming days actually you will get a lot of recycled products, actually packaging material, which will reduce food wastage. That's it. Okay.
So thank you so much for giving insights of the recycling. Just I want addition here, so a few things. The recycling process, there are two types of recycling process I would mention here. So one is going to be melt process, and second one is going to be solution process. Okay. So nowadays you see a lot of the like laminates and like a multi-layer pouches. Multi-layer pouches we cannot recycle because there are the number of the layers. So that is the reason government, as this I go to, you see any plastic, single plastic material, we can recycle that one. So when you seeing the any plastic bottles, they can see recycle symbol 1, 2, 3, something like that. So that means we need to segregate easily for that. Some different groups, then go for recycling. But if we come to multi-layer, it's very, very, very difficult. Whether we had delaminate each one of the layer, that's a lengthy process and expensive process. That is not possible. So only one we have options melting process. That means if take multi-layers, two multi-layers, for example, take it polypropylene and polyethylene terephthalate. Polypropylene it melts for 165 degrees and PET it melts up to 245 degrees. But if you melt one material, for example, PET, PP, P50 melts, but we cannot melt 240 degrees PET material. If you PET melt 240 degrees, but this one going to be decomposed for what is that? PP material. Because whenever doing the recycling material, it should be make the byproduct. So wherever is not required for much load-bearing applications, there you can use for recycling material. So this is just from my side. I want to addition this one. Thank you, sir. Thanks once again for that. And coming to, we have another topic is edible packaging is made from natural ingredients. We have here eminent speaker here, Shyamal Roy from NDDB Dairy. What is the full form, sir, if you don't mind?
National Dairy Development Board.
Okay, great. Please go ahead, yeah. Just give brief about that.
Thank you, doctor. Namaste to all. See, when we talk about the packaging of our products, so normally in our mind it is normally come either it is plastic or paper, mostly. So there are packaging materials like wood material or metal, glasses, paper, plastics, and say like varieties of laminated products are also available. So, but nowadays that new thing is coming like that product should be like easily, it should be environment friendly. So new packaging material coming like edible packaging material. What is this edible? It can be eaten with the product, and or it should be recyclable as good as a food product. So though the percentage of these edible packaging material uses throughout the world is not so much, but there are a lot of innovations are coming so that the cost of edible packaging material so high, normally people not able to use for the regular product. So new technologies, innovations are going on so that those kind of packaging material can be used with comparable with our traditional packaging material. If you see in 2022, there was a like 680 million US dollar packaging material, edible packaging material been used. And it is assumed that in 2023, it will be around 710 million US dollar. And by 2030, the assumption is that edible packaging will be used around 1,050 million US dollar. So that gradually people are coming with this kind of using this kind of product, so that uh, that material, you need not to think about the recycling of the product. Like as our panel members already discussed, there are certain packaging material like laminates, and some of the varieties of plastics can be recycled. So it is load on our environment. So this kind of edible packaging material can 100% ensure that you will not be any impact on your environment, number one. And another thing is that uh, this edible packaging material uh, having some good properties also, like if we think about the nowadays, we know the ready-to-serve products are easily available, and we are going for the ready-to-serve product. If we go to mall or any online orders and all, so people are coming with the packaging like edible packaging, which can extend your product shelf life. And those material normally used not for the highly perishable product. It is dried or like semi-perishable product. Like there are products like already Mr. Pradip has mentioned, like the ice cream cone. It can be we know, everybody know, we are eating regularly. Then in cheese cubes, butter cubes. Then there are certain products like coffee pack, which can be directly added to the hot coffee or hot milk or water. So you need not to remove anything else from the pack. So those are edible. Uh, so there are some other uses, like you might be heard about the encapsulation of the products, like your certain kind of microflora, then your vitamins, minerals, flavors. Those kind of materials are also encapsulated with the edible packaging material. Say edible material actually. So normally edible material, packaging material, we produce either as a film or as a coating. So film normally it's produced separately, and then it is used for the uh, say layer on the product. And coating is directly used with the product at the time of manufacturing of the particular products, specifically encapsulated product. So they are directly using for the encapsulation, and a coating or layer develop on the particular granules. So I think with the time, technology improvement and the more awareness, uh, this gradually this edible packaging will replace the traditional packaging material with the time, I think. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shyamalji. I have one question here. So just elaborate a little bit about, like a trends in edible packaging films and the prospective future in food.
Yeah, already as I told regarding like there are many products, even like we are eating ice cream, and they say ready to food, which are perishable in nature, need not to reopen. You can eat directly, cheese, paneer. If it is directly eatable product, can be directly make a layer so that you need not to open, and without any food safety concern you can eat, you can consume it. And the material used for this kind of edible material, edible packaging material, are mostly either it is starch base or means carbohydrate, fat and protein. See, fat material having some issue, like with the time, fat develops some rancid flavor. So most common use of the material for edible packaging material is like either it is protein base or carbohydrate base. And protein, it is either mostly it is from the plant origin, and animal origin means it is from the milk, say casein and whey protein being used for the production of this edible packaging material. And so, I think few months back, you know about the that straw used for the beverages. That regulation has come that plastic straw has to be stopped. So we have come across some of the supplier that they are coming with the like biodegradable straws. So those are produced with the starch base actually. And there are certain manufacturer I know from in Bangalore. So they produce carry bag or polythene bag from the starch base. So it is easily it having a good physical strength also. But only issue is that once it touch with the water or like moisture, so it will be easily degradable actually. But it is already started in our in India also many manufacturing industries they are coming with the innovative such kind of packaging material at nowadays. Thank you.
Can I ask a question on this? Or is basically we talking about the primary packaging, right? Replacing the primary. Still you need to provide a secondary packaging because of the contamination of food, because if you're using an edible packaging, you will also look at the contamination angle because you are consuming that product. So what are the challenges currently being faced? Because we're talking of primary packaging. If you talk about cone also, still you need an outer covering or a secondary packaging to package. And what are the challenges that you see currently in this area?
Exactly. See, any edible packaging material need the compliance to the like food ingredients or food product. Say if I produce a food product, whatever the regulation or safety concern you follow, same thing has to follow for the edible packaging material. So major concern like the cost, one is like technology, that the cost of the packaging material involved, and second thing is the repacking for the transportation of the packaging material to the particular organization. So that is the thing, because this material has to free from any kind of dust, dirt, or any kind of contamination. So that is one concern. And second thing is that what he told, like if I pack a product with a edible packaging material, because it is meant for direct consumption, so I need a layer on it. So when I am supplying from my manufacturing facility to the market, whereas like some of the even KFC, I think 2016 they come with they normally use the paper bowl for the like serving the rice and kind of, so they come up with the like that bowl has to be replaced with the edible packaging material. Though it is not the eatable, but it is biodegradable. Okay. So major issue like that, you need to follow the all food safety regulation and the hygienic factors and all. And second thing is like that, that storage is another factor. When you, because it is a biodegradable product, it is the food product, normally storage will depend on the storage condition and the humidity. If your storage facility don't have the like, normally for the biodegradable product you need to store around 40 to 50% of humidity and below 25-degree temperature, 20 to 25 degree. So these are the certain condition you require to use this. Otherwise, you can't manage this kind of product to store and to use and to supply in the market.
I would say big challenges because it is not that easy, because edible packaging for consumption and for packaging as such are also two different areas. So edible packaging, you can say biodegradable packaging, and then an edible packaging for consumption. So it's still a distance to go, but yes, I think the technology and the work that I think you are doing maybe will give us innovative solutions in future. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, so both of you for giving inputs for about edible packaging. So now we have very interesting topic, active and intelligent and smart packaging system here in packaging. So I would request Madam Aparna, Madam Jain. So can you give brief about that? So
Yeah.
how we going to be develop, how we will active for that one, please.
Yeah, so we touched upon this topic yesterday also about the smart packaging solutions available nowadays. And in the smart packaging, you have active packaging and intelligent packaging as well. So in the active packaging, it is more to do with the shelf life. So this active packaging helps in removing the excess oxygen so that the shelf life of the product is increased. It helps in removing the microbial damage. So your food safety is better and the shelf life of the final product is better as compared to the previous shelf life. So a lot of active packaging materials which are nowadays being used like oxygen scavenger sachets or antimicrobial kind of packaging, ethylene additions being done. So whatever the food space which is available while you are filling up your product, so there you are using the nitrogen flushing is being done. Again, just to improve the shelf life of the product, you do not want that oxygen to be filled in that pack, so that your product shelf life is better, your product is safe till the time it is reaching the consumer. When it comes to intelligent packaging, so there are some sensors being used on the outer of the pack, which is more consumer friendly, which is giving more information to the consumer about the food safety, what all as I discussed this yesterday also, so there could be QR codes on the pack, or as Sir said that in a lot of Western countries, they are using the signs like green, that means it is fresh, a symbol on the outer pack, which gives the consumer an idea that, okay, this product is a green kind of a symbol that shows it is fresh, orange color kind of a symbol which shows that this is crisp. So there are some symbols they have created. This is more to do with the telling the consumer about the food safety and about the food quality, that is this fresh, is this crisp, is this ripe food what I am getting. So this intelligent packaging, more commonly seen in fruits and vegetables kind of a category, not too much in India, but in the Western worlds, of course. And the active packaging, again, in order to keep your fruits and vegetables fresh, so this active packaging is being used, wherein oxygen scavengers packagings are being used, which helps in removing any of the excess oxygen and increasing the shelf life of the product.
Yeah, thank you, madam, for giving inputs about smart and active package. Just I want to addition these things here. The smart regarding including active and intelligent. Active and intelligent, there's two parts. So active packaging, it will give shelf life of the product, whatever madam has mentioned that. So once you making the packaging material or maybe product, so you have to add some of the additives, that one. For example, take it, the normal packaging system, what will happen if sometimes it will develop the moisture inside. So those moisture should be absorbed inside. So these kind of absorbents, we have to introduce the whether packaging material during the manufacturing or food product, like product. So one of that, you can add it, additives into that, then it will going to absorb whenever temperature, whenever humidity will be increased, all kind of things. So it will give, increase the shelf life and protect the your product. And coming to that intelligent packaging system, so this intelligent package, I think all of you knows very well, there is a headspace is there. There is a headspace is there where the pouch or maybe bottles can take it. So in that, inside of that, they will insert some of the sensors inside the packaging system. So when you scan nowadays, everybody knows that, what is that, the QR code, all kind of thing, and RDFI there. So these kind of things will give all the information about your product. So where is the line down that, so whether reached or not, whether shelf life still is there or not. So these kind of information will get you very easily. So as madam said, so days is going on, so that the shelf life of the, like it will be change the colors, different colors will be changed. So based on that one, you can find out whether my product is still is safe or not, you can find out. So otherwise, what happens if you want to do the, whether the shelf life is there or not, we need to open the pack, then you can eat, then we come to know what the status of the product. So without doing that, based on this color, you can buy your product. You can decide it whether your product still shelf life is there or not. Based on that one, you can decide that. So thank you so much, madam, for giving for information, lot of information about that. Then I would request we have with us B.S. Acharya, ex-regional director, Northeast regions. So, sir, give just brief about, like FSSAI, Food Safety Security of India, norms and regulations, especially in the food, what kind of information is required, and how we will insight. So, this kind of just brief about whatever regulations are there, please.
Thank you. Good noon to each and everyone present in the dais and present here. You see, everybody knows Food Safety Standard Act came in 2006. And actually it was implemented in the year 5th August 2011 in the real term by repealing all the previous acts and the orders. Now the food labeling, as regards to the labeling, initially we have Food Safety Standards Labeling Regulation 2011, Packaging and Labeling Regulation 2011, which was succeeded by by labeling and display regulations in 2020. So now all the manufacturers, they have to follow, importers, they have to follow the Food Safety Standard Labeling and Display Regulation 2020. Now, all the speaker has told about the labels, about the informations, about the content of the products that you are providing to the consumers. Now, to my utter surprise, for last almost 10 years, we are implementing Food Safety Standard Act throughout the country. When the food product become unsafe or substandards or misbranded. Now, the experience says out of total food products sampled in the country, 10% of the product got unsafe. Roughly around, I'm talking about the rough figure. And the majority of the product become misbranded. And the misbranded product goes to adjudication proceedings in the ADM court, where penalties has been imposed. Now, why this misbranding is happening? I would urge upon all the manufacturers to go through the regulations. And not only the food product standard labeling and display regulations, there is an advertisement and claim regulations. Because manufacturer has to follow these two regulations very seriously. Everything has been maintained. And almost, of course, LM regulation is also required. Now, if you follow these regulations, then you can get rid of all the misbranding happenings in this country. Majority of the products are becoming misbranded because of the labeling and health claim, unnecessary health claims. The regulation says you can only claim the nutrient claim. Nutrition claim you can make. Because in the entire label, if you see, one is principal display panels, whether it is a back panel or front panels. This is the principal display panels. In their display panels, you have to mention ingredients, class of ingredients, additives, INS number, name of the additives, and the size of that letters. That plays an important role. It should be bold, 3 millimeter height of each and every letters, and it should be conspicuous. And size of the label also specified, if it is 100 square centimeters or 10 square centimeters, depending on the different size of the pack, what are the informations has to be provided. And for different kind of food products, like coffee, chicory, milk, nutraceutical. So every kind of food business, every kind of food products, there is a special requirement of the labeling and packaging. So that has to be followed. Now, surprising what is happening. People are claiming nutrient claims. If somebody is adding carbohydrate or proteins, slight, a minor percentage of protein is there, they're declaring some health claim. That should be avoided. You can claim about your nutritions. If it provides certain nutritions based on the nutrient, then you can claim it. Otherwise, don't go for the health claims. Only in case of SMMP, foods for special dietary use, foods for medical purposes, these two categories, there are the health claim is permitted. Otherwise, no products should be allowed to have a health claim. So this is one aspect. Second aspect, labeling, advertisement, that is also major issues. Lot of cases are going on because of the wrong advertisements. So that has to also to be looked into. And whether it is a I'm not blaming anybody, whether it is a multinationals or the small manufacturers. Basically what is happening, the small manufacturers are following what multinational is writing or big companies are writing in the labels. Because they have a big people, entire regulatory framework is there, legal experts are sitting there, so they are designing the labels, they are providing the input to the printers. And nowadays printing department, the printer itself having all information. I will urge upon all the printing association, those are printing the labels, please refresh yourselves about the law. If you are even getting an order from anybody, XYZ, I have some, information, even some talk with the printer, you just give a telephone call. I just wanted to have a tomato ketchup. Yes, tell me, what is your address, name and address? And you give the license number, your label will be sending the label. So please don't do that. My sincere advice, what is happening, even the printing people also, they should also follow the labeling and display regulations if they wanted to provide a service to somebody else. That's all. I just wanted
And in fact, sir, I wanted to add on the safe labeling part, like gluten-free and lactose-free.
Yes.
Normal consumer is not that much aware of the packaging is saying gluten-free. But for the consumer to make a decision, how much
No, if it is gluten-free, then there is percentage is mentioned. If
Yes.
it is 0 to, I'm just forgetting, 0 to 5%.
20 milligram
20
per kg.
milligram. Then if it is that, then it is a gluten-free.
Yeah.
Then once you are writing gluten-free, better to write what is the gram.
Yeah, because see, a lot of patients are looking out for products which are gluten-free or lactose because they are lactose intolerant. They are looking for
Yes.
that product which is lactose-free, or they might be having gluten enteropathy, so they are looking for
Yes,
gluten-free product. Similarly, for the allergen information, again, it is for the safety of the consumer. Somebody might be allergic to soy, or there might be some nuts. Anything might be there in the
No,
product.
they
So
can declare it
yeah,
in
so
the
this
label
all
itself.
is there in the FSSAI regulation that it is mandatory to
This
write
mandate is already
Right.
mentioned.
declaration.
It is already
Yes.
mentioned. Not only this, ma'am. You see,
Even these sweeteners and all.
the biggest problem, somebody can ask me the questions, we are changing the law every frequent.
Yeah.
That is in
so
fact
that
a
is
drawbacks to the industry. I admit it. Because every time if you print a cylinder, the cylinder cost not less than per color 1 lakh, not
1
less
lakh,
than.
yeah.
So it is a challenges to the industries to go for printing because we are changing the law. Why we are changing the law? Suppose LM Act, there is a changes. Then obviously we have to go for changes. And even some representation comes. We used to sit there to find out and there is a changes. So but now another thing is FOPNL from the pack labelings. Now everybody knows about this. We had made some draft standards, we have circulated, and for your kind information, 15,000 representation has come for the FOPNL regulations. Now it is under study. We have made it voluntarily, but there is a problem. I will admit it, the problem is the algorithm. In the FOPNL, the algorithm we have followed, that is the problem. If that algorithm will be sorted out, then because again it is a very challenges catch each and every product segment. It's very difficult, I don't know. But still FOPNL is in a voluntary stage. That is star health rating. FOPNL is star health rating. And once it will implemented by 2027, I think it will be mandatory. But I don't know till so far. But still it is, work is going on. Lot of halagulla will be there. Already it is there. But now lot of halagulla will be there. But still industry also provide some inputs, how to set the algorithms. Because algorithms should be set, because our product matrix such a huge complex product matrix now. Beverage sector will go because of the sugar.
Yeah.
So lot of issues are there. But my sincere advice to all manufacturers particularly, those who are doing the food business, whether it is a food and beverage or any food, go for the labeling and display and advertisement claim regulations. Not only this, there is another one that is called provision regulations, because every regulation has got interconnections. Now if you ask me this question, such a big books, who will have the energy to read it? Yes. It is a question you do not find any interest to read such regulations. If you read at least one paragraph, in that one paragraph, there will be so many provided, you will get exhausted. So now you have to hire your consultant, those who are
Yes.
knowledgeable in this subject, to speed up your work. That's all. Thank you.
You want to add something?
Yeah. So again, related to sweetener, I was just trying to add some more points here because childhood obesity is also very common nowadays, and parents or normal consumer, I would say, they think that okay, बिना sugar वाला drink दे रहे हैं, इसमें तो sweetener डला है, right? But sweeteners जब हम use कर रहे हैं, जैसे कि अगर आप cold drinks में देखेंगे, तो वो जो sweeteners use हो रहे हैं, they are not safe for children, not to be recommended for a children, right? How much they are consuming, and those disclaimers are given in very small font. Consumer is not able. You are giving, okay, this contains asulfame K sweetener, that is in 3 font. But who should take this? Who should not take this? A pregnant mother should not take this. A children should not.
Why
take
it is giving, mom? Why it is giving? Why it is giving in a very small letterhead? Because people cannot read it.
Yes. So
That
again,
is,
it is
a,
a
that,
safety
that is a
question.
deliberate attempt. I'm telling you, there is deliberate attempt. Please avoid this. Please avoid it, because I think Coca-Cola, they know, they are writing it. It should be keep away from the children.
Children, yes.
They have written it little bigger size.
Yeah,
Even
very
Pepsi
small,
Cola is also
yeah,
written.
very small font size.
But they have to make it bigger size.
Yes.
Because all the informations, whatever you are providing the labels, it should as per the law. Plus, the consumer should know. You see, आज की डेट में आप बताइए मेरे को, बच्चे आप कोका कोला बॉटल रख दो, पहले he will be inclined to have it.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
But if his parents will stop, no, don't take it, because it is written here. Children should be avoided.
Yes.
Is not it? But actually our consumer also there.
Yeah, so a lot of consumer awareness is
we are
needed because
getting so much consumer complaints.
safety labeling is very
You see,
in
again,
small font
in
size.
the context of the consumer complaint, my entire office, we have got 5 regional offices, and including head office Delhi, we are receiving so many consumer complaints every day. Consumer are ever nowadays, but those complaints are related to Swiggy and Zomato. हमने ये खरीदा, इसमें ये मिला. But not a single complaint I have received for last 10 years that this label does not speak this type
Correct
of
information. Yeah.
warnings.
You're right, yeah.
You got my point?
Yeah, you're right, right. So I have one question. So tell me whatever madam has mentioned, like that's not whatever letters are there, whatever printed on the label, that's not readable properly, I feel it, very, very small. So do you have any particular standards, all kind of things, like what is the font size, like a style, something like that, any particular?
Yes, it is mentioned in the labeling and display regulation itself.
It's mentioned.
Everything is mentioned. What should be the, even the alphanumeric letters, alphabets and numerals. उसका क्या size होना चाहिए?
But do you have any cross check that one, whether they're following or not?
No, we do not actually. It is a very
Sir,
vast.
sir, they would be following. See, sir, the back of pack label is a regulation. So believe me, if it is a package, they would be following all the regulation, and that is why it is mentioned. So these are warnings. So warning needs to be mentioned, it should be displayed. So the regulation are well in place. That is why I spoke about the front of pack labeling. Because for consumer, the back of pack labeling is not that important because they don't go and see that. It is the front of pack labeling, and that is where the discussion, or sir told about Halla Gulla, that will come up. Because if the traffic light system is implemented, then if the warnings are to be displayed on the front pack itself, so if all this comes up, maybe there will be a middle path somewhere. I would say that when these 15,000 suggestions have come,
Yes.
definitely it will be worked upon, and there will be regulations that will help the consumer, because the inclination now is towards helping the consumer to decide a better, healthier product. And so believe me, the processed food industry is growing at about 13 to 15%. Also the hypermarkets, they are growing at, you won't believe this percentage, but the hypermarkets in low and middle income countries is growing at 41%. 41%. So hypermarkets means you have accessibility to processed food, packaged food, and the more accessibility, availability, you will start consuming more. So it's the trend towards consumption of more packaged food. That is why the regulation is very important in terms of back of pack label or front of pack label to regulate this. And to monitor this, there are then agencies who will monitor and come forward, like consumer organizations, who would then pick up the real issues. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving a lot of the insights of that FSSAI regulations. And so we have, so today we have lost, topic is the biodegradable. So I will just a little bit about that. So what do you think about biodegradable? Why you want come that picture biodegradable? Anyone? See, nowadays we are struggling a lot of things. Government also, like banning all kind of things, plastics, okay? So whatever existing plastic that is not biodegradable, I think all of you knows very well about that. Whatever we have, polypropylene, polyethylene, PET, this kind of is not biodegradable. But, so this one coming to the picture, biodegradable, okay? So this biodegradable is completely made with the natural resource. So can you remember, so sometimes we're talking about, like a bio-PET, bio-PP, bio-PE. So these are whatever ingredients they will added bio-PET, for example. Bio-PET they might added 20%, 25%, whatever bio additives added. So that one only going to be degraded for a little bit, maybe little extension, not for complete 100%, like a biodegradable. But this biodegradable completely, natural resource made by that. So these kind of things you can see microorganism going to be break down this kind of chain. So that's why we're calling it for biodegradable. So here, so there are two things we are talking about. So you can say biodegradable, we can say sustainability, you can say recyclability. So these are a very hot topic and future also. Always we think about, for example, like sustainability, for example, sustainability. So we need to think about future generation, not for our generation, think about future generation. So whatever we are doing here, so take it for example plastics, you can go for recycling, you can reuse for that one, you can make the non-bearing applications for that products. Wherever byproducts required, you can use for that one. And also something I want to mention brief about that. You see, like plastics we can reuse and save the plastics. How are we going to do that? For example, just to give the best example, if you go to market, so you buy 10 vegetables, okay? So once you buy the 10 vegetables, you can get 10 bags, carry bags, 10 plastic carry bags. So then go to again where we're creating or generating the plastics. We're generating the plastics. So you can, why don't avoid for that one? So instead of taking 10 plastic bags, why don't take only one bag, whether plastic, whether jute, whether any other bag, single bag. You can go to market, buy the whatever vegetables you want to, come to home, segregate it, put it in the fridge or whatever there it is. But so this is the things so we can save the, reduce the plastics here it is. So what I want to suggest, you see, government always thinking about, like reduce the plastics and ban the plastics. But we had to think about ourselves only. So if we don't change our mindset, nothing happens, I'm telling you. That's my personal opinion and personal these things also. So this is a brief about, I want to say, biodegradable things here. So yeah. So I think we almost our speakers have done that, and our time also going up now. So any questions, any comments on these topics? Any more discussion about that? Audience?
If no questions, then I'll give you a food for thought on biodegradable. I was just getting this thought when you were speaking.
Yeah,
So,
please, go ahead, yeah.
See, we need to go back to basics. For example, a person from NDDB is also here, so he can also share some insights here. Yogurt. We were packing yogurt in biodegradable containers. Do you agree? No? Earlier, mitti ka bartan? Go back to basics. Now what are the challenges and why the plastics are coming in? Because you don't get the same shelf life. You need convenience, you need shelf life of the product. So if the technology is able to provide a biodegradable source which can meet the requirement of convenience, which can meet the requirement of shelf life, that is where the challenge is. You cannot keep yogurt for 15 days in a mitti ka bartan. That is where the challenge is. So I will request person from NDDB to throw some light here that he is talking about edible packaging. So is there is some work going on there, and can this be?
Think about that, yeah.
I already mentioned, see, edible packaging still whatever developed today, it is mostly for the dried product or semi-dried product, like even cheese or that kind of, or some of the product like ice cream, those are eatable spoons, cups, like coffee, they are serving in a cup. You, after drinking the coffee, you can eat the cup again. Okay, that kind of products are developed. But like yogurt, that is when you are pouring the milk to produce the yogurt, it is 100% perishable product. So then your all these kind of edible packaging materials, they are highly soluble in water. So now their technology they are developing, like oil can be used, fat can be used to reduce the water solubility of the edible packaging, but still it will take time because these oils are very much like they develop rancid flavor with exposed to the air. So need to go, means it will take time, but I think in the future it will come that we can solve whatever he is asking for today, it will come. Because if you think, see, 680 million USD edible packaging material 2022 has been used, it is not a small figure. So people have started using of it. If you go to any outside India, say cheese slices, mostly people you might be eaten cheese, that slice, Amul or Govardhan, that kind of cheese slices are, you find the plastic wrapper. Now it's coming with the edible wrapper. You need not to open it. You can directly consume it. That technology already people have started using that kind of product. So it will come very soon, I think.
Yeah, thank you so much. Any question on the floor?
So anyone in the audience who would like to ask any question, you can ask them.
So if we don't have any questions, so we're going to be concluding now. I would thank you all my eminent speakers here, each one of you, and same as well as audience also. So I would like thank you for organizing, give opportunity for me as a, other panel members also. I'm looking forward to see other. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much to all the panel members. And special thanks to our moderator for the moderation, which he has given in this panel. And with this, we would like to do the felicitation for all our amazing panel members. And to felicitate all the panel members, I would like to call on stage our felicitator. Please put your hands together for Miss Anita Mint, co-founder and director, production from Mints. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? Thank you, ma'am, for coming on the stage. So now we would like to start the felicitation. And for the felicitation, I want everybody out. Okay, so after Ms. Aparna, we have a gentleman over here. So I want everybody out here, please give it up for Mr. Pradip Chakraborty. Let's give him a huge round of applause, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Pradip. With this, please put your hands together for Mr. Vivek Arora. Let's give him a huge round of applause, everyone. So now we have our next panel member. Please give it up for Mr. Shyamal Roy. Everyone, come on. For the amazing moderation, please put your hands together for our moderator, Dr. Babu Rao. Let's give him a huge round of applause. And last but not the least, please put your hands together for Mr. B.S. Acharya. Thank you so much.